Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzza here, and the video today is a lesson I did end of last year with Rich Woods, and I did it on the K-Motion. So the K-Motion, it's like a 3D device, lets you look at the golf swing in far more detail. The video here wasn't filmed specifically for YouTube, so it's very fly on the wall. Just Megan was there and she was happy to hold the camera, so quite a nice video. You can kind of see me in action teaching. Rich, being a coach himself, you know, there's some pretty good interaction. He has a good idea of how his swing works anyway, so hope you enjoy the video. If there's stuff in here that doesn't make sense to you, please get some comments down below, and I'm happy to do more videos on like 3D movement. And you'll notice I don't work on rotation as much. I didn't feel like the rotational aspect was Rich's problem, so we worked on bend more. And I think too often we don't factor in how bend and side bend, so how we can tilt, how we can move forwards and back, complements the rotation. So have a watch, a like and subscribe, and there is a video that went up last week of Rich Woods in the bag. A fantastic video, if I do say myself. So get into the channel, watch this, stay safe. Nothing else to say, really.
Put this one on. So if you want to just take that, clip it on, and can you wear it as if you've got two belts on? So wear it underneath your belt.
Underneath my belt?
Yeah, because the center of the pelvis, like the coccyx, is actually below your belt line.
Okay.
So I see it a lot.
Is that right like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because people tend to wear the sensor too high, and then it's not actually on your pelvis.
Oh, okay.
You know, you basically have then, so you see you can move the pelvis, and you've not put, basically you've not set it up right, Rich.
Right.
This one, so we're gonna look, this is just showing your arms, so we're gonna put that one
Oh,
there.
I've got massive arms.
Oh, we're going to need a bigger strap. Give me the smaller strap.
This one's the slow worm, and this one's the python.
It's like a child. You're a big boy now. Get the big boy strap. Hand through that. Other hand. Oh, Richard.
When I saw the width of it, I was wondering where it was going.
Don't ever change, unless it's possible to. Look at that. I want you to really make sure you're matched up with it.
Okay, with my club down.
We're going to stand completely straight up.
Okay. What should I do with the club?
Steve, is that
take the club in two hands. And
is
then
that shoulder
Put it
sensor?
on the front here.
Is it looking a little high, the shoulder sensor? Or?
Oh no, that's okay.
Okay.
Keep it like in here.
Okay.
You
perfect.
see, it's on the thoracic.
Okay.
You do have to be a little careful with this. It's a new strap. It's easier to put on, but I have been finding it rides a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm just now checking that we're in the right places here. See that one now, grip. I'm looking at you straight now. Look straight up now. Look straight up ahead. And what I'm doing is I'll calibrate it. And then you mentioned pelvis offset. That's basically like how your pelvis, because it works it in, but that's all sorted now as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we put the strap on. It was quite. Let's go and have a look at that.
Yeah.
In that sequencing.
Okay.
Because sometimes you've heard of the sequencing, like you want your lower body, then upper body, then arm. So, how they're interacting and how close they are.
Yeah.
Is really important.
Yeah.
So sometimes the machine will say, "Oh, you had the perfect sequencing," but although having in the same order, either two things: one, the stretches weren't really happening.
Yeah.
Or the stretch was so far apart. Like, let's say someone's getting a lower back problem.
Yeah.
So you go, "Oh, I'm starting to get pain there," and it's because it's like so efficient, but it's almost overwhelming the system.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, it's just nice to get a nice little look. Okay. See if everything is kind of the same.
Okay.
Have a look around in here. Just like to have a look through. This is they have other screens now, which are quite helpful.
Yeah.
But just having a nice overview of what's actually going on. And you see, it gives you. So they've taken a lot of the TPI stuff.
Right.
So this one, and they're just looking at where is this compared to a Torpro.
Okay.
So you see, you got the Torpro ranges.
Yeah.
And it's going, where are you?
Yeah.
But you'll notice there's a big range.
Yeah.
Because there's differences across everybody.
Yeah, of course.
And you've got to think as well with the Torpro, you've got some guys that are hitting fade, some guys are hitting. There's loads of differences in there. So they put a range. For me though, it's looking for the trends.
Yeah.
So if you're out on one, it's like how's that affected the others, and then it'll also look at your body.
Yeah.
Because we'll screen your body in a minute because we don't want to go, well, let's make loads of changes when
I can't do it.
you can't do it.
Yeah.
And then if you can't do it, it's like, well, maybe that's the reason this is here. This one I see very often. You see the pelvis bend is lacking.
Yeah.
And then the upper body is too much.
Yeah.
So think about it logically. If I haven't bent here,
Yeah. That's got to.
it has to.
Okay.
So we get a little bit
Slouchy sort of.
Yeah, would be
Or C posture.
C posture. Exactly, and that's exactly what it's saying. C posture around it, because you know you're a good coach. You know what you're doing. So if you go, well, I got the C posture. C posture a lot of the time is either can I not physically hinge,
Yeah.
but the solution is down here, not go. Oh, cheers, Steve. Hey guys, could I have 4 more inches on my shaft? So we're looking at that, and what we are going to look at as well, because you said you were doing it with driver, pelvis at top, really good. Both in terms of rotation,
Yeah.
and if somebody's tight, I always want that rotation to be higher.
Okay.
So I'll put let's say a male, very tight hips, and it might say, well, they're in range at 30, but the 30 is the McElroy we were talking about.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
So then they can't do the stretching.
Because like when I was looking at myself on video, I felt that there was with my irons there was a lot, and this was with a wedge. I felt there was a lot of rotation, but you're saying that is within the realms of.
So what's happening? So with the iron, are you trying to feel like there's a bit more?
I try and keep pretty. I feel like I'm keeping pretty stable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel it stable. You get to 41. That's the higher range. If you think of like historically, we've kind of gone with 45, 90.
Yeah.
So you're slightly under that. I certainly wouldn't want you to do any less.
Yeah.
But what you've done is you've got a really nice bit of side bend there.
Okay.
So again, if that was compromised,
Yeah.
and then what we want to look at is the bend as well, because we know we didn't start with any bend.
Yeah.
So if we go find the bend, so you didn't start with any, and you see you haven't found it.
Okay.
So you go, well, that's not enough, but you've increased. So you basically, it started up,
Yeah.
and then it stayed there, and then its only option then, you see that number is negative
Yeah.
impact. So we're expecting to see it go this way a bit. You've started here and then you've popped up.
Again, yeah. I feel I come this way out of posture on the way through.
But what we will do in a second is I'm gonna put you in the hinge.
Yeah.
If it feels too tight this time of the year, I think I can give you a few exercises and you could work that in.
Yeah.
Because if I put you here and make you tight, the likelihood is you're going to rotate less, and I just said I don't want you to rotate less. So you see, it's looking at how it all interacts.
Sequence of events.
Yes.
Sort of thing,
Yeah. And it's just like when you go to a normal lesson, you can't go, I'm just going to change his grip, and you go, well, he's already hitting this shot. If I make that change, it looks better, and he hits it worse. And that's not what I want.
So I used to do Robert Carlson sort of thing at a dress. I used to go from there and then go down that way and then soften my knees. That's going to get, in theory, that would get me into the position we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you
And
said,
we'll use some
we need to
biofeedback
check.
in a second, so that it will ding when you get there.
yeah,
And it's very much, especially a player of your skill level, it's not me saying this is 45, it's you going, this feels when it feels like my nose is about to hit the desk. It might be, it could be a million and one different things.
okay,
Never my place as a coach to tell you how you feel,
no,
because you're the one in charge of that.
yeah,
And then we're looking this one slightly too much, bend. You see, then we've gone a little
yeah,
shallow.
okay,
For yourself, again, it's looking at how you can move.
yeah,
Because we know in your swing, like if you picture your swing, you do go a bit there and then the hands go up.
yeah,
So a lot of that, what this doesn't do is we're looking at rotation,
yeah,
we're looking at bend, and we're looking at side bend.
yeah,
You know, it doesn't tell me that the arm's tracking up here.
okay.
You know, so you can make it work.
Kind of core movement.
Correct. I'd like to feel that we could bring you a little more here. You would be able to keep the arm down a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then more importantly for me, you'd be able to drive that way.
Okay.
You neutral it out just a little bit.
Okay.
But we're not going, and I've started with the numbers, but I know that where your body is. I don't want to go, well, let's whack it down, and when we hit that number, that's where it's right, because it'll make you feel so tight.
Yeah.
I think you'll lose speed, and we've just seen that you've done some really cool stuff getting your
Speed up.
Yeah. So if I do anything that, maybe not short term, but anything that long term, so let's say beginning of next season, I make you have a better looking swing that is slower, I haven't done my job very well. So that's not what I'm going to be prepared to do. Plus you'll just ignore it. Let's pop into this one. So you'll see I looked at the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm now going to go into the performance graphs.
Okay.
What I'm seeing here, can you see the arm? So I'm expecting, I can bring up an example. Can you see 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
And then the arm should be in here.
Okay.
So it creates a staircase.
Right.
What we're seeing in yours, staircase, and then you have to go back.
Right.
I think that's happened because your pelvis is moved too late.
Right.
So again, if we go back into the example, can you see this is, so if we say this is the top of the swing,
Yeah.
this is impact,
Yeah.
can you see this is like first half of the downswing?
Yeah.
So if you think with how the hip moves, we go here, there,
Yeah.
so we get our speed, and the hips then start slowing down,
Okay.
and when they slow down, they pass the energy here to go.
Right.
That's happening, but it's happening too late, so it's then not getting pulled into the arm. So the arms are working a little independent, but makes a ton of sense. If you are here,
Yeah.
think about if I was going to ask you to just jump, you would do this, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If I just went, you would just give it a little, you know. So if I'm going to jump, I'm going to go here, so I can do that.
Yeah.
That's what we need a little bit more of. I think it will really help your swing, actually. But again, I think the solution for you is probably to give you a few exercises.
Yeah.
You were talking about X factor.
Yeah.
So we look at the X factor, and you see it keeps going down.
Yes.
That's what it should do.
Okay.
What happens when somebody overstretches the backswing is it tends to max out and then it works out. Keeps going down. So if we look here, you see, works its way down. You'll see somebody that struggles, and you do see it a lot. Even if they make that number really big,
Yeah.
so they go like, oh, I've got 60, that's loads of separation. It then can't, sometimes it will start breaking up straight away.
Yeah.
It's this section that correlates best to distance.
Okay.
See, we got a little bit of a shudder there.
Yeah.
If we look how big the change was, so you see you've got 33, and it goes out to 41. So you see that's not particularly big, but what it does is it then goes bigger.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go, you can't go too big, because again that works great for your body. really
Okay.
does. What we're going to see in the upper body, see the blue line?
Yes.
Really goes straight. It's lost its curve.
Right.
That's the side bend.
Okay.
That's a sign that you shallowed out.
Yeah.
So you move this way a bit. When we look at the bend, we want these two bits to be quite level.
Okay.
They should return.
Yeah.
We don't want to go past 0. So you,
Obviously different.
so you see you've gone down. So that shows that the bend has started to extend a bit.
Okay.
So I think we set your pelvis. Feel like you set into it a bit more. I'm going to give you a drill to allow you to do that. But more importantly, it's just so you can kind of feel it.
Yeah. Cool.
And then I want your feedback here. Again, can I just show you the example? Can you see it starts far higher,
Yeah.
drops off a bit, and you see there's this like little bowl here?
Yeah.
That's the pelvis engaging, that move.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that little bowl bit, it means it's not really... I almost feel like it's the upper body catching onto the hips, like they're about to get pulled.
Yeah.
We'll see with yours it happens over a longer period. So you see that happens really early.
Yeah.
So this is top of backswing.
Yeah.
You see that bit's happened, and then so it does that, and then it does start to extend up. If you look at yours, it happens over a far longer period of time.
Okay.
And again, it's because the pelvis isn't really set
It's in
to
position to do it.
to engage. So that's where I am with that. So without further ado, let's do this. How much does that feel?
It feels a lot. It feels different.
Does it feel a lot?
Yeah.
So you go there and hold it again.
That way, like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. In my opinion, that looks athletic but comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So now what I want you to do is make it ding again,
Yeah.
but then I want you to make a backswing, and I don't want that to turn off.
Okay.
So we're not working on rotation,
Yeah.
we're not working on side bend,
No.
but we're working on the bend itself.
The pelvis and keeping that.
So
that
you'll
bend
feel
in.
like you keep it down, yeah.
Okay. And it's the.
Yeah, that's
noise,
the sound.
Okay.
So bend over, make the sound, and make a backswing. You see it switched off?
Yeah. That's me really feeling that as well.
And then you were talking about how you were trying to let that... You know how you were trying to... With the driver, you were talking about how you were getting into this?
Yeah.
So can you see now, we start bent over.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like it just gets short and you lose
Yeah.
it being dynamic. But you can feel like you push into that, you can still use that feeling.
Okay.
So you see, we start with the bend, and then we can still feel like we load up into it.
Okay.
So what I'm going to... So can you see, now that you're trying to get into that hip,
Yeah.
you
can
keep the
it
sound on, you go one more time, but you actually... So if you look here, I've put on the values.
Yeah.
So I'm using that. You got that turned to 40.
Okay.
So that's where you were like, you were in and around that on average.
Yeah.
40's fine. What I tend to find is when we do it slow and controlled like that,
Yeah.
it tends to do slightly less.
Yeah.
You know, when you know you're about to move, you
Yeah.
get slightly more.
Of course.
But what we're actually showing is you can physically do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And do it one more time. This time I want you to do it with your eyes closed. And I want you to get the sensation of your body, like how does it feel? Does it feel really tight?
No. It feels tighter.
Yeah?
It doesn't feel. No.
So why don't we hit a few shots doing that?
Or my eyes closed.
Yeah. Can't hurt sometimes. So feel it for one, so just like get the sensation and then just make a swing. How's that feel?
Yeah, it's okay.
Do 2, 3 more.
Be any reason path going more to the right on TrackMan now? Would that be a thing?
So where have we gone? So 4.6. I don't mind that too much.
No, but what I'm doing would that?
So you're loaded down here.
Yeah.
It allows you to get a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Plus, when you're here, it's actually you can get here and pull around.
Yeah.
So the likelihood is with your arms working here, you've just found a way to visit a path. Once we're here more,
Yeah.
to get that path more left, the likelihood is we can start clear and moving this way more. And you see that's turning over a bit because, like you say, the path has started going
Yeah.
that way. But I'm not too worried about that.
No.
You can definitely do it, can't you?
Yeah. Well, it feels like I'm doing more of that move. One more?
Yeah, go one more.
It also potentially be why my clubs, when I kind of fit myself with clubs, I'm very, very upright. I need to have them very upright.
Yeah.
Maybe something to do with that.
Because what happens is when we make this move,
Yeah.
we have to lift the shaft up. So we start working that way.
Yeah.
You would think that the lift up, so with a player that comes over the top,
Yeah.
the lift is actually really great at hiding the problem because TrackMan shows that the path zeroes out.
Yeah.
You can see it in the vertical swing plane,
Yeah.
but they come here and go here. Because you've got control of this backswing,
Yeah.
you pull up, you can work it around you, but you're still going to see that uprightness.
Uprightness, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're kind of like, even if you keep it simple, like 1 plane and 2 plane swings, you know, the 1 plane swing that's far more lower than you'll ever be,
Yeah.
you tend to associate that with shorter shafts and maybe a bit flatter.
That's it,
So the DNA in your swing will always be a little bit that way,
Yeah.
but I think we can get it just so we're
Well,
creating.
we're talking, I'm talking like 5 up. Is
Yeah.
where I come in as a light angle.
You can, and like it's looking at the flight.
Yeah.
So, like at the minute you're getting the path out to the right and you're turning it over. So to go 5 up would be craziness.
Yeah, exactly.
With a player that struggles, 5 up will help them for a few weeks, but then you encourage them to make their mistakes. So you kind of put a ceiling on where they can get.
Yeah, which is what. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what is that?
2.
2.
Yeah. Yeah, 1/2 inch longer and 2 up.
Starting to get a little bit closer, which is nice. We're gonna go. So it's starting to get some bend.
Is that the one that was 1
Yeah.
the last time?
Cool. You see, pelvis rotation actually rotated more.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
Yeah.
I was making a move to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
The side bend has gone up a little bit. Remember that was in range.
Yeah.
When you were first doing the moves, you remember every time it switched off,
Yeah.
you were starting to tilt a bit here.
Yeah.
So you can start to go there. The big difference I'm seeing between when you were just doing the drill versus when you're swinging is because you're used to your arms going up.
Yeah.
I move you there and you do come this way a little bit. The more you practice, you'll start to feel it can flatten down just a little bit. And then what I wanted to look at, you see the impact.
Yeah.
It's slightly under rotated at impact, so you could start moving a bit more. That's the question of the pad.
Yeah.
But can you see already it started to?
Yeah.
This is great, you know, and get the feelings and then watch it, but don't panic when you do it straight away. We wanted to look at, again, if we look at the bends, impact has come down just a little bit. It's still a little extended, which we got to expect. Top of the backswing, it's still lacking just a little bit, but it's certainly getting back nearer to where it needs to be. So I actually really like those movements.
Fantastic.
Actually, and it's nice that the upper body is starting to work. The more you get here, you'll be able to start moving that, so you'll start being able to feel like you're a bit more engaged here.
Okay.
That's going to let you move a bit better.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
So
That's really interesting.
all in all, mate. And again, these are out of range, but we can certainly start getting those moving into the right place as well. You know, so what I want you to do, work on the pelvis,
Yeah.
get that feeling, then we'll see how these start to move.
Brilliant.
You don't want to, and you can almost give people too much information.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, try to
I
change
agree.
everything. Just like a normal lesson.
Yeah.
You know, I like to find the catalyst
Yeah.
and think is almost the analogy I give is if your bedroom light's not working
Yeah.
and then you checked and the bulb was, you just changed the bulb, you wouldn't then change the wiring and then you wouldn't call the electric company. And I think that's what people sometimes do.
Yes,
sometimes.
definitely, I
You know,
agree.
so you
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
well look, this is, we changed that, everything else is fine.
Yeah.
But I use the word catalyst because usually it starts to actually push and make all of these other
All the
numbers
others.
look better. Plus we understand that you're moving better.
Yeah.
You're definitely moving better.
Cool.
You know, and we'll do a few screens just and a few exercises. You've always been a little rounded here.
Yeah.
So again, we can do a few things for that. You know, and then I think you'll be able to start opening the upper body up. But in terms of that sequencing, you can then start pushing across it. Sequencing, it takes a little bit of time.
Well, that's great because I've been just swinging and feeling like I'm getting this moving out of the way, and that's pointless without what we've
Yeah.
just done, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, so you're on the right tracks. You're using this really well. You know, the TrackMan. This is just to go like, and a lot of the time the problem is caused by something that's happened a lot further on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But good.
Brilliant.
How are you going to do it this time?
Is that what it is? Oh. Love it.
Everyone's a winner. And you see that started coming down. That's cool. Man.
Fantastic.
Do a couple just